Hi everybody, this is Patrick coming to you from the Mass Store Knife Shop again. Still working on our series with the GiantMouse knives, and today I'm going to come to you with the Biblio and Biblio XL. So let's take a look at that. A little background on Biblio. Some of you know this history, some of you don't. So for those of you who don't, the Biblio is a bar in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, where Jim Worth, who's an American businessman, met up with Anso and Jesper Voxnaes, and they were at a knife show. And they sat there at the Biblio and came up with the idea for GiantMouse knives. And that is where it all started, at the Biblio bar in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. So pretty cool. As always, they're giving their knives names that matter, that mean something to them. And this one, of course, means more than most, obviously, because this is where it all started, at the Biblio. I'm going to cover the Biblio. I'm also going to cover Biblio XL. As 3 different iterations of this wonderful knife. Let's start with the regular Biblio and we'll go forward from there. So the one we have in our shop right now is, of course, this really sweet looking brass one. It's a little on the heavier side, but people who love brass don't mind. That's pretty cool. We'll get into the specs a little bit later. The steel for this particular one is going to be the M390. Nice. M390 satin. As usual, it's got a nice simple liner lock for closing, and it has a flipper for open. This flipper is a little on the tighter side. You got to give it a good tug down the spine, but still it comes out pretty decently. So thumb hole for rolling out, if you like. Really nice setup, nice design. Of course, you got the steel clip on this side, reversible to this side with a tip up blade setup. So nicely designed. That's their basic Biblio. It does have a little bit of a finger churl, so you could get in there. You got the jimping on the back side. Really set up nice. You could hold it here and work good, or just bring it up a little closer and work something like that. Nicely set up design. I just like the look and feel of that. For us, we got the brass with the M390 steel. The next one we bring is the Biblio XL. So this basically is considered the big brother. Take a look at the size difference. It's not a whole lot enough notice, but the weird thing is, of course, the fun thing is, we'll talk about specs later, but these two weigh about the same because of the brass. And this happens to be a nice micarta, green canvas to be exact. That looks sweet. This particular one, they changed the steel on. And this particular one is Elmax. So again, we'll get into the steel chart in just a bit, but it's got a nice big belly to it. As usual, liner lock for closing, flipper for opening, a lot smoother. All of these have ball bearings on the pivots. This one has the finger hole. Really great on the spidey flick. That's just really super smooth. I'm not kidding when I tell you, I can pop one of these open in our shop. Who's ever in the shop will come over and ask me, what did you just open? And so it helps with us just introducing them to GiantMouse and making a sale. So great little piece right there. And the third one we bring in, which is like the probably the most popular, most beautiful one, titanium. The Biblio XL with titanium. They even milled it, as you can see. That's beautiful. The milling on there, I don't like plain titanium necessarily. I like it when they do some design work on it. Same kind of blade shape, nice little belly with a drop point. Liner lock. Easy flip. I mean, it's so smooth with the ball bearing pivots. It's crazy. And again, like all the rest, a nice little simple spidey flick. You can flick it right open. People just love that simplicity. Finger churl, working like that with your nice jimping on the backside. That's sweet. As usual, all these knives that come with that steel clip, all of them are reversible. All have lanyard holes if you're into that. So really nice setup for these guys. The steel on this particular one is Vanadis 4E. So people are like, I never heard of Vanadis. It's kind of new in the knife market. It's making its name. It's not a new steel, but new, making its way into the knife market. So where does it fit in? I'm going to show you the steel chart in just a second, but in your mind, it's going to fit in right in between M4 steel and some crew wear. And there's some differences in that, but we'll look at the steel chart right now. I've got it on a steel chart. And look at all 3 of these and see how they look. So first of all, we're looking at your brass knife with the M390, as usual. M390 right up top here. Great edge retention. Some nice, nice toughness. That's for chipping, micro chipping, watching out for the tip breaking, and then crazy cool on a 9 out of 10 for corrosion resistance for the M390. That's your brass knife. If you're looking at the Micarta, that's Elmax, and not much less on the edge retention. I mean, enough that you probably would notice it if you used it every day. A little bit better on the toughness, and about equal on a little bit less, but about equal on the corrosion resistance. And lastly, Vanadis E. You're going to see this kind of in between. There's your Vanadis 4E, and it's got nice edge retention there. Really great on the toughness. I mean, that's where they switched it up. I mean, these guys up here are supposed to be tough, but this guy is probably the toughest of the three. So if you're looking for that, not as much corrosion resistance. It's not really built for the outdoorsman necessarily. You can still use it out there. It's still a 4 on the corrosion resistance, but this was Vanadis 4E was really made for good edge retention, super tough. So all three iterations of this particular knife have great steel. Great handles, brass, micarta, titanium is probably their best-selling model in our shop. We've sold more of these at this point than we've sold of any other model. So pretty cool knife. Weight-wise, they're going to be pretty different. The brass, of course, is 4.9 ounces. That one is not quite the heaviest, believe it or not, because we still have titanium. The micarta is 3.9. That's noticeably lighter, my style. And titanium comes in at 5.1, just a little bit heavier than the brass, only because it's probably longer, and that's where you're getting it from. I'll take a look at the two different lengths. For open length for the big boys, we're looking at a pretty nice 7.5 inch. As far as open, it's not overly big, like crazy big, because it's got a shorter blade. The blade on this is coming in at 3.2 inches. So if it was longer blade, it would probably be an issue, but people will like this because the blade doesn't overdo the length of it. And that takes these two here. If we're looking at the brass, let's take a look at that. That overall length is right around 6.875, just under 7 inches. Comfortable for everyday carry. And I want to say blade length, again, a little bit less, just under 3 inches to 2.85 for your blade length cutting edge. It's a favorite. People just love the Biblio. I think some of it like the history that's where they started this company at the Biblio bar. Some like it just because it's a really awesome knife. So don't forget, guys, for the specs for this, in case you miss anything, or the pricing or links to purchase this, just go down in the description below and you can check out all that info down there. Price-wise, it's pretty close. I mean, the brass one is coming in at $235, and you're going to have the micarta one is $225. And titanium, of course, because it's titanium and great steel, is coming in at $285. All very reasonable for the build, for the steel. So all available in our shop. So I hope that helped you out for today's information, and that will be it for the Biblio and Biblio XL. Before you go, do me a favor and hit that like button, and make sure you subscribe to our channel so you won't miss out on any of the new content we're doing. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you later. Have a great day.